Living with a serious illness is such a roller coaster ride. Um, it's terrifying. It There's so much indignity. Um, the tests, the hospitalizations, and then there are times of relative calm, and you think, oh, things are stable, and we had the right ramps and wheelchairs or walkers or grab bars. We've got this covered, and then the bottom falls out again, and there's some infection, and it's quite a ride. And whether it's Parkinson's or other serious illness, it is a tremendously challenging business to live through. And it's critical to have people who communicate with you honestly about what you're going through and what you can expect and how you're going to cope with all of this. And I had heard that our hospital recently had a palliative care doctor come. I live in the mid coast of Maine. We met with her twice over the course of about a month, spending over an hour each time in her office with her and her nurse. And especially during the first visit, she mostly listened to Ken talk about what mattered most to him, what he enjoyed about his life even now, and what symptoms were most troublesome for him. In the course of these two visits, she completed a do not resuscitate order. And because Ken had said he would forego antibiotics if he got any infections, a pulsed form, he couldn't dress himself. I helped him get dressed for about 5 years. He wasn't able to handle, trips to the bathroom or shower alone for several years. Maybe the hardest thing, other than hallucinations, delusional thinking, was that his emotional resilience was compromised. It got to where I couldn't get him up, even to stand, to get him in a wheelchair to spend the day in a lift chair. And so we asked the hospice nurse and social worker to come help us figure out a plan of care. And while they were here, he said, I think I should go to the hospice house. And, Ken had been sick for so long, and he'd had multiple hospitalizations, and he'd always pulled through. And I think it's important for healthcare people to realize how little experience most of us have with end of life. We don't see it when it's coming. We don't know that that's what it is. And this is what he said. I wrote it down later that night because I wanted to forget what he said to his children as he lay there. I'm the captain of this ship, not Jane, not you. This is my decision. I'm not taking pills. I'm not going through all of that again. And there will be no finger pointing. You can learn from this. We're all going to die sometime, and I'll be the one to decide when to lie down my sword and my shield. These are my choices, and you have to respect them. And he died 5 days later. And he had a good death. And everybody should have a chance to have a team that helps them understand their prognosis, understand the choices they face at every fork in the road. What are the ramifications of those choices? And what are their personal preferences and priorities so that their care matches their values? And I'm hoping that C-TAC and other advocates are going to continue to advocate and lobby for more help for caregivers and families and patients, because it takes everything you have to achieve what I felt like we achieved, which was a good death for Ken. And I know not everybody has our resources, so we need to help our neighbors and friends in this situation, because most Americans are going to die from a serious illness. This is us. This is all of us. And we can do it.